All right, guys, welcome to another Critique the Community. This is a strange one because we are currently on the road filming Photographing the World 4. I don't even know where the hell we are right now. Where are we?
Conguillo National Park,
yeah,
south portion, central Chile.
Okay, and Elia is actually taking a photograph now of this really cool tree in this lava field, and we have to sit here and wait through sunset anyway, and he doesn't want to film a lesson, so I thought, why don't we just knock this out, because we got to do this critique. I apologize that this is late, but as you can see, we've been a little busy and there's no internet around here. So even though we're filming this today, maybe like 4 or 5 days before it actually gets released. So this one's gonna be really, really late.
Yeah, and I just want to add too, if I look distracted, it's because I'm distracted. I'm actually waiting for the sky to open up. There's a volcano back there. And if the sky lights up, I may turn, Lee may have to grab me, and we'll keep on this. We're not staging this, I really am shooting, and these guys are always trying to find ways to distract me.
All right, let's get to this first shot here. Now there are 2 winners and they get tutorials, free tutorials, and there's 2 winners per critique.
Okay.
The first image is the highest rated image in the entire critique. So the users rated this the highest rated image. If you are looking for more information about landscape photography, this is a beautiful seascape, feel free to check out Photographing the World or any other tutorial at fstoppers.com/store. But let's go ahead and rate this. We're gonna go 3, 2, 1. Or
okay, remind me how this works again, because it's been a while and we're really literally just jumping into this in the field.
1 is a snapshot, 2 needs work before it hits your portfolio, 3 is a solid image for your portfolio.
Got it.
4 is excellent.
All right.
5 world class.
5 is world class, and I have never seen any of these, and I rarely know what Lee is talking about anyway.
Okay, let's do it.
Wait. See that? Look at it. So I've never seen this before. All right. Let's do it.
I'm feeling in a good mood here. I'm about to be really nice.
I'm trying to get this shot. I don't know what kind of mood I'm in.
3, 2, 1. I gave it 5 freaking stars. You gave it 4.
I gave it a 4.
Yep.
Because it's weird. Like, I'm looking at it at this off angle. So when I look at these, like, this screen's not as good as mine.
Whatever.
Yeah, whatever. PC Mac person. It's a Dell screen. It looks really good. What I would say is I love this image. I love the light on the foreground. I like the rock. I think that there's a little bit too much of a hot spot on the left side where the sun. I would have extended that hot spot a little bit or just created some more burst of light. I feel like it's a little concentrated right on this little spot here. The other thing is when I turn the screen to the side, before I looked at it like this, I feel that there's kind of a shadowing effect around the water, around the rock. Feels like there's a little bit of halo around the rock itself because of its shadowed portion of that water. I feel like that needs to be brought up. And at the side, I can see there's a little bit of, kind of looks like a blue cast, but I don't know if this is the monitor. It might just be a little bit darker gray. But I feel like that is about 95, 96% balanced. If it was brought up, I'd give it a 5 because I love most of that image. I just think it needs a little bit of improvement right there in sort of the center top region.
I kind of see what you're saying. The hot spot of the sun looks great to me, so I'm not sure that I feel the same way about that. The lighting on the rocks looks great. The water looks great. I don't know. Everything about this shot looks great. And
it's a really killer image, to be honest. I like it.
Now, normally we would talk for a long time about each of these shots, but we probably have like 20 to 30 minutes before sunset here.
Less.
So we are going to have to burn through these really quick. Pick a number like 1 through 5, and that's going to be the next winner.
3.
3. Okay.
And I'm focus stacking here too, so I have to actually work a little bit.
All right, so here's the next shot. And when we get to number 3, you're gonna be a winner. This is number 2 though. Are you ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1. Really?
Yeah.
3 stars. I give this one 2. I've seen some great sand dune shots that I like. I do not really like this one. I don't like the foreground. I don't like this bush or something that's in the left side over there, the middle top.
Was 3 needs work and 4 was...
No, 3 is a solid image, like ready for your portfolio.
Oh, let me downgrade that to 2. I thought 3.
So I was right.
I don't want to go that far. Okay, so yeah, I'd say, sorry, I thought 3 was right in the middle. 2 actually means that it needs work. 3 is like it's good. It's good.
Yeah,
4 is like it's
your...
awesome. 5 is like we don't have anything bad to say.
Yeah.
I think that to improve this image, I think it'd be a cropping issue actually, because the way the middle ground comes, the highlight sort of ends, and I feel like the whole bottom third of the image is kind of just negative space
dead,
to me.
right?
Yeah, there's not a lot of texture, nothing leads the eye in. But I think the top 2/3 could improve it if it was more of a panoramic and a little bit more working. So there's like sharper highlights, a little bit more crush on the blacks, more leading lines, and sort of a panoramic would bring it up to a 3 for me.
This lava is hurting my butt so bad. I'm sitting on like the biggest jaggy spot. You have a nice piece of lava.
That's what you think. I was shooting here. You guys.
Oh, and I forgot to say earlier, the cool thing about the new critique is we get to see what the community rated the shot as well.
Oh.
So the highest rated shot got a 3.79 by the community and 94 votes.
That's not bad out of 100 votes, actually. Anything around that star rating is pretty good.
Yeah. This one that we just rated, this was given right around 3 stars by the community. So we were harsher than the community on that one.
Yeah, we were.
Now, number 3. This is the winning random winning shot, so we will be sending you also a message on Fstoppers. Feel free to choose any tutorial, but photographing the world would be a good choice. Are you ready, Elia?
I have to keep looking at this because of the screen. Well, okay.
I'm in between.
I know it's hard. You said no high points. Okay, you ready?
3, 2, 1.
Boom.
Yeah, I'm in between a 2 and a 3 on this one.
I would have given it between a 2 and a 3 because looking at it, composition is really cool, everything's good, but the colors need work. There's some green going on in the building, some yellow, and the whole thing feels soft to me. It feels like it's a little soft.
That may not be the photographer. That could be, like, we might have a low res image here.
Yeah, that's also true. I feel like some of the blue in the roofs here on the left needs to be mitigated. It feels a little muddy down there. What I really do like is that it's an awesome sunset and the composition is there. So if it actually is tack sharp, I think you can make some color adjustments to this, a little bit more light balancing, and it could definitely go up to a higher rated shot for me.
What do you think about cutting out the bottom 25% and having it be more of a shot of this kind of farther bridge and then the cityscape in the background? To me, it kind of feels a little dead in the bottom. I understand what the photographer is doing, trying to get this bridge down here, but it seems like the real interest is the city.
Yeah, you make a really good point because there's a lot of gap between that bridge that's close to the city and the other one. Yeah, that would actually be a great alternative composition. I would just say that depending on the resolution of the camera, we'll see what happens when you actually crop that panoramic.
Oh, you could go back and shoot it and just zoom in a little bit. Yeah. Let's see what the community gives it. Right around 3 stars. So once again, we were too harsh. Next up. Whoa.
Oh, that's interesting. That's much more interesting sky than I have right now.
I wish this would explode right now.
I know.
Okay, I'm ready.
This is, yeah, it is definitely interesting. Yeah, okay.
3, 2, 1.
Did you give it a 4 too?
4,
okay, it's hard with gloves on. It looks like you got your thumb up.
Yeah. That's why I have a mitten only on this hand and not on this hand.
Single mitten for the win.
So, I don't know that technically this is the most incredible photo.
No.
But there's so much energy. It's almost like an art piece or something.
Yeah, I don't know what, that's kind of why I gave it a 4 because I don't really know what to think about it. It's like the guy who's running or jogging is perfectly placed for the composition. I was just kind of curious, is that lava captured just like that, the sky, everything? I mean, if it's a single exposure, that's really, really cool. Even if it's a composite, it's cool.
Yeah.
It has a lot of personality.
I'd love to hear the story behind this image, so please let us know in the comments. The community gave this 3.29, so we were a little nicer on that.
We were a little nice. I think we were compensating too, but I do like that image. It's pretty neat. Oh, sweet.
Do you know where that is?
You know, I would if we ever saw mountains when we go places. We have this problem. The weather is actually closing up the volcano as well.
All right, 3, 2, 1. 3 stars.
3, okay.
Have we agreed? Well, I gave the 5 the first time, but other than that, we've agreed.
We've agreed, and I love the composition. That lenticular cloud is really cool.
Yeah.
It looks like a UFO sitting on top of that mountain.
Yeah. It's
got a good foreground, middle ground, and background with the sky. I would say that it could be improved by the processing itself. Looks a little, I wouldn't say too much, it's just heavily contrasting in the foreground. The cloud was accentuated a little bit too much with the shadows, and towards the top, we're seeing like sort of a dark spot on the top. Almost looks like too much contrast, or Nick Collection be too much pro contrast or too much tonal contrast for me.
I gave it a 3. I was in between a 2 and a 3. Like obviously I love the weather and everything. Something about this, I don't know if this was shot on film or processed to look like it was shot on film.
On film,
Something about it doesn't seem that sharp to me, and it feels like an old image that was like brought up saturation and post. I don't know, something doesn't feel quite right to me on this image, but we're not looking at the highest res shot, so I'm not totally sure.
Maybe it's just that the colors too look like the shadows and the highlights of each color tone look a little burnt to me.
Something.
Yeah, there's something about it. Maybe if we saw higher res or if it was toned down 20%, it would look a little bit different.
The community gives us 3.18 stars, so right around what we gave it.
Okay.
Next up, this looks like Westworld or something here.
Kind of does look like Westworld. Let me see for a second. Let me see if that's something up there. Okay, no, that's all landscape. Oh, very interesting. Okay.
Ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1.
I'm gonna give it a 2.
I'm in between a 2 and a 3 on this one.
I'm actually in between a 1 and a 2, I'm sorry.
Really?
Yeah, I think that this is a good example of a very interesting place shot at a very inappropriate time of day. And I really think the interest is, I was looking at this mountain sort of centered right. You know, it actually from here looked like a monastery. I shoot a lot of monasteries in Greece and things like that. But yeah, I mean, it's nothing special. It's cool, but it needs some work, and I think it could use a better time of day or some drama in the sky, in my opinion.
Something about this shot, like this is where you and I disagree a lot on time of day. Yeah. I like a lot of daytime shots of nature and stuff. You don't, but I just don't know that this shot specifically is that interesting. But you know, you print this big and you put it on a wall, and you know, the fact that it's not that interesting makes it artistic and cool. It's, you know, I could see myself liking it a little more.
I don't know. I hate that argument. It's like, you know what, guys? If it's a bad photo, everybody else will love it if you put it on a wall. And I'm not saying this is a horrible photo. I think it's really cool. It's a neat place. I think that you have a great location that you could come back to later and redo a different way. Lee's right, though, and you can send this to his home address, and he will hang it on his wall.
Somebody recently sent me a photo that I said, I'd like to hang this on my wall.
Really?
And they mailed me one from some other country.
That's super nice.
I didn't know they even had my address. The community gives us 1.84, so a little bit less than our 2. Ooh. Interesting.
That looks really crazy at this angle. Is that a, okay. Wow. This is going to be an interesting one for me.
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1. 3 stars, we agree again.
I think we're going to be in agreement that it's a really cool concept. It's got a ton of drama in it, but it's so over-processed. It's really tough to see. I understand you really want the blaze of the fire to be behind the chopper, and it's dropping the water on the fire, but then the smoke's all blue underneath the red of the fire. There's a lot going on here with the color. That's really what's keeping it at a 3 for me. And it would go, if it wasn't such a great concept with the color, I'd make it a little lower than a 3. But I think that it's a pretty damn cool image and a great moment.
I wonder what this was shot on. Like, could this have been shot on an iPhone?
Well, it's a 4:3 aspect.
Yeah.
So it could be, or else it was cropped.
It doesn't look super high res at all, and if you start looking into the clouds and everything, you start seeing all this noise.
And artifacting, there's some artifacting.
So it doesn't look like a really high-end camera took this, but there's a lot going on here that excites me, and so that's why I gave it a 3, just because it's kind of telling a story.
It really is.
The community gives it 2.5 stars. They're being harsher than us here. Interesting.
Wow. Well, okay, let me look at this some more. I thought it was a cupcake for a second. It's a weird viewing angle for me.
This is very strange.
Oh, man. Okay.
Ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1. I gave it 4, you gave it 3.
Yeah, I gave it a 3. I gave it a 3 because I don't fully understand it. I love abstract sort of long exposure. What I really like about this is that it has color. I'd actually go higher than 3. This is where it gets really tough for us sometimes because I think that this is a 3.5, 3.6 kind of image.
That's what we gave it.
Yeah, we're right in the middle. And you know what I like about this? This is cool because if I change the viewing angle and I look at it, we have this piece of nature. It's casting a shadow to the right, but what I kind of like is the photographer left the horizon line in.
Oh yeah, that makes the whole thing.
That makes it. It seems like the horizon's also off a little bit. Is it off?
That could be the lava and me
I'm not
holding
sure.
this.
I'm not sure. It's just really, that makes it really interesting for me that whoever did this, nice job by leaving a little bit of texture in the white on the bottom.
Here's the thing, is this in the water, you think? And they've desaturated it to make it look white? Because I would love to see if this, unless I'm crazy and this is something totally different like snow or something. It can't be snow because there'd be snow on the thing, but if this is water, I would love to see just a hint of blue throughout the whole thing as well, you know? Kind of see this a little bit more natural the way that it was.
Yeah, could also accentuate a little bit more of the ripple pattern, but it's kind of neat because usually it would be a white scape. I understand this style of work too, be a complete white scape, but since we can kind of register that it has to be in the water at that point, or they've blurred the sand. I'd like to see, you know, a straight out of camera before, and also the exposure settings, how long of an exposure that was.
Community gives it 3.1.
Okay.
Next up.
Oh, okay. Well, that's definitely got some interesting long exposure aspects. Okay.
This is a tough one for me. I don't know what the heck to do with this. Okay. 3, 2, 1. 3 stars, we agree?
You gave it 3?
I was in between a 2 and a 3 on this.
Same.
Like, I personally don't really like it. It's kind of got this muted, like they desaturated the bottom and the tree and everything. It's
but you
weird.
were also just saying, so the reason I gave it a 3 instead of a 2 is we just kind of went, you said, I would like to see more color left into the white if it was in the water.
Yeah.
So this is a good example of we have a longer exposure, it looks like around 30 seconds, 60 seconds maybe to get the clouds unless they're moving fast.
Yeah.
And they've sort of bleached the color down a little bit.
Well, it looks like sepia tone, the bottom, but then they left the sky blue. It's kind of weird to me.
It's a little different, but I do like that it generates a really strange mood. I mean, the tree's twisted, it's sort of overlapping the sea that's turbulent. There's something going on here. There's a good mood, and this is also what I would consider more towards fine art, like you were talking about.
That's the reason why I gave this a 3 and not a 2, is because I could see this photographer having a series of images like this, and so it, you know, it kind of...
And I'm actually going, speaking of shooting, I really am shooting right now.
So the shot that I have that David sent us while we're here in Chile doesn't actually show the number, but you can see the number now, so that's what the community rated this shot.
Man, this sky looks really bad. I need a better sky. If I could just take one of these
images.
Like,
that might come right across though, and then it could open up right at the last second.
Yeah, I hope you're right.
All right, next shot.
Okay, I'm good.
3, 2, 1. You give it 2, I gave it 3.
Well, that's really nice of you.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm in between a 2 and a 3 on this.
Yeah. What I like is that some photoshopping and some long exposure work had to be done because they had to have captured or blurred in Photoshop all the water and then shot the gondola to be still. They've done some time blending here, which is one of my favorite techniques. So they brought the lights in on the buildings and used the sky. Saying that sky, those values are really crushed. I think that's an example of when you've made it a little bit too orange and really forced that light. So this image then becomes more stylistic than natural to me.
Well,
so I feel like
no
all
doubt
the techniques are there. It's just an imbalance of those techniques, and the color needs to be shifted. So, and it's also one of those locations that we've all been to. A lot of us have gone to. So you really do have to work hard to make it unique, and you're on the right track. I like how nobody's holding up iPads in the gondola. That's also a nice touch. So you've chosen the right gondola. Now it's just about balancing those colors for me, and then I'd rate it higher.
I am in between a 2 and a 3 on this one. The community gave it, 3.36.
Wow. Wow. We are a little harsh today.
Now this is Bhutan, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yes, it is.
Now I have seen your photograph of this location.
Yeah.
I might like yours a little bit more.
That is one heck of a watermark down there. Let me get a look at that guy. Okay. It's hard for me to tell because it's low res, but let's go ahead and
3, 2, 1, 2.
It's gonna be a 2 because I wanted to be nice. I can't tell what's in focus here. I feel like...
Then that's not necessarily the photographer's
I know,
fault.
and what's tough is if those prayer flags are moving in the wind, I can't tell if the intention was to focus on the foreground or the background there. But I don't feel like any part of it's really... I feel like you're trying to represent Bhutan, which is definitely Tiger's Nest and the prayer flags. It's also difficult because they used to hang them much closer. to the monastery itself, so you had to be pretty far back to shoot this. I know the location well. I think you could have used some framing if you went between the flags. Had the flag sort of on the top and the bottom, and then you would have either forced the, standing back, zooming in a little bit more, forced shallower focus so that the prayer flags are out of focus and tiger's nest is focus. To me, it feels like the shot is divided in half, and it's kind of hard for me to decide where my attention should be on this shot.
Yeah, the time of day makes it feel a little bit more like a photojournalistic shot to me.
Yeah,
than
I can see that.
Art shot,
Yeah.
which is fine, but depending on what you're trying to do, like, to me, it feels like you might struggle to sell prints of this. You know, it's not the typical pretty shot that you'd think of. The community gives it 2.39. Next up.
Whoa.
Kind of looks like what's right behind us. I don't know if this camera can see, but there's
Yeah.
fall colors and then there's a pond right behind us. It's kind of like that.
Oh, can I see? Does that look straight?
I don't know.
Okay.
If that's your only problem with the shot,
All right. I hate doing this.
3, 2, 1. Really?
Yeah, I'm giving it a 1.6. And here's why.
1.6.
Yeah, I'm looking at the most beautiful fall colors I've seen in years, and they shouldn't be that green and neon yellow to me. I do not like the color treatment on this image.
Here's the problem with giving it a 1 is we have specifically titled 1, you're right, as a snapshot. And I can tell that this is like a photographer, you know, who's thinking. Like no normal person with a cell phone would get the reflection like they wouldn't compose a shot like this.
No, it's a reflective fall color shot, but I just don't understand the colorization of it. You know, like those yellows there near the bank and in the reflection, it feels like all the color's naturally there. Why push it so far into the green shift?
The community gives it 2.59. They liked it more than us.
They did.
Interesting. This kind of looks like the Windows XP. You ready?
Yep.
3, 2, 1, 2. I was in between a 2 and a 3 on this. To me, I would like to see the sun a little bit lower.
Yeah, me too. This is also shot from the bridge. It's basically the highway that goes over this, which is perfectly fine. I love shooting up there. Like the leading lines on the right and the color of accentuated on the leading lines on the right, but it's just, to me, it's just a normal image. It's nice, but I agree. It could be a better time of day.
Community gives it 3.12.
Community loves those trees.
What is this?
That's Mount Bromo.
Oh, you've shot this?
Oh yeah, I have the ones with the stars. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And where is that?
Indonesia. It's a few hours from Surabaya.
All right. Are you ready?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
This lava is like super sharp, guys. It really is.
3, 2, 1. Oh.
Yeah, I give it a 3. I like it. I don't love it.
It feels wrong for me to be rating something harsher than you are rating it. This is like the first time ever that I've given something a lower score.
I've seen a lot of shots of this place. It's very popular, but there's a lot of, it doesn't, Bromo doesn't usually smoke that much. And I like that you got color so close to Semeru in the background.
What is this, a volcano?
Yeah, Bromo's the collapsed volcano. Semeru is actually in the background. I need to look a little bit closer. My only concern, no, it looks like it's misty. I'd say that the sky could be composited there. I'm not really sure. It looks a little suspicious on the right side, but there is a lot of smoke. This is the area that you'd see famously. You'd see the fog in the caldera on the bottom.
Yeah.
But it's nice when you get a nice sky, and I think that with the smoke, it was kind of neat. Most people end up shooting this wide. You zoomed in, so I think it's very interesting, actually. I don't think it's the best shot of it, but I think it's a really nice one.
Community gives it right around 3 stars.
Oh, that's dramatic. All right, I gotta look close at this one though, because I make sure. Why can't I get a sunset like that? Jeez. Why are you guys with all these epic sunsets and ours is fizzling out?
You might get an epic sunset right now. You may
you know,
not see
if
the,
this cloud
the
moves,
volcano, but you might get an epic sunset.
Yeah. All right.
Ready?
Yep.
3, 2, 1. Okay.
4.
Once again, I've been a little harsher. I gave it a 3.
Yeah, I couldn't, I think it's getting really hard for me because I want to do like 3.85, you know, but I think this is a really strong image. I think that I could go through and sort of pick out where I think parts of the rocks need to be lightened and you know, sort of that highlight needs to be pulled more in and down. But I think that the scene itself, the choice of exposure time, duration to pull the water and create those leading lines, this image has a lot of potential. And left as it is, I understand it's a style choice to make everything sort of dark and crushed in the values. So that is a very, very beautiful and popular style right now in seascape and landscape photography. So as itself, I'd look at it and say that's a great spot and really, really fortunate conditions to catch the sun just below those. I mean, those clouds are really, really great.
I feel like it's a little too grungy and processed to me, and that's
so you
why
don't
I gave
like
it
the crushed effect.
I don't know. I need to like see what this place looks like in real life or something. But something this feels like a CGI composite to me more than it does a you know, a shot. But the community agrees with you. They give it 3.76. It was very close to the highest rated image, I guess.
Wow. So seascapes are really winning.
That's true.
Troll's Tongue. All right.
Where?
It's in Norway. I believe it's Troll's Tongue, the Troll's Tongue. Yeah, that's the one of the selfie capitals of Norway and the fjords.
I believe it. You ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1. 2 stars. Incredible location, but just kind of feels like a snapshot.
It's also, you know, I would have picked this out on Google as any number of the same image. With somebody in red on the tip of the tongue.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I feel like if you're going to get a selfie, this is the best place in the world that you possibly could do it. And I understand it's a really busy location, but if you wake up early in the morning, get the epic sky with the first light, then you got something special. I'm with you on that one.
Community 2.84. Next up.
Oh, that's interesting. That's a pano. That's, what is the, I feel so bad I forget the name of the town.
This feels like a place I went in Switzerland, but maybe not.
I think it's the Czech Republic. It's, it'll come to me after.
Ready?
Okay. I know you're uncomfortable, but we're working on it. 3, 2, 1, and...
I gave it 2, and you gave it 3. I'm not really liking this. I don't like the...
You think there's too much in the foreground that's a little bit, like this is all kind of distracting?
Maybe. It's not just the composition, though. Like, something about this shot just kind of feels blurry to me, and the light and everything. It just doesn't feel like the white balance is correct or something.
That's true. It's tough during the blue hour. Sometimes things come out a little bit yellow, and it's really tough, too, because we have essentially tungsten or yellow lighting on yellow and white buildings.
Yeah.
So it can be a little bit much. Now, I agree with Lee on the color, and it does seem a little bit muddy, almost like it's kind of HDR'd in the tree, right? Like kind of an old,
on the right, but look
muddy.
down here at the bottom left, like this tree looks good for some reason.
Yeah.
And I don't know what's going on.
Here's the reason that I gave it a 3. By doing a panoramic image, we forced the perspective of the wrap around the river. Yep. And I really like the shape that the town makes. Rather, what I usually see with this location is sort of zoomed in a little bit more, framing the church in the center as sort of the staple of the composition. So I kind of like what the photographer was intending here, but you're right. Maybe even bringing it in a little bit, you know, getting rid of some of the trees there, focusing on the wrap of the river and getting rid of some of the foreground and reprocessing some of the colors. I think it's pretty cool. Definitely a cool way to do something a little bit different than the normal shot that people come out with there.
Community 2.5.
So we right in the middle again,
yep.
2 and 3?
Yeah.
Look at this sky.
Ready?
Yeah, you guys should know there are like wild puma roaming around here too, so that would be really interesting if we get taken away at the end. No, he's not over there. He's just
Nobody
somewhere.
would see this. It wouldn't get edited.
Oh, that's true. Patrick would escape.
3, 2, 1. I went 4, you went 2
How
on
did
this
you go
one.
4 on that?
So here's the reason why I gave this a 4.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just kind of over the wide angle pictures of like pretty locations. You've taken me and you've ruined all of those spots for me. This is like this abstract color shape thing that just feels like art to me. And so for that reason, just the way the light's hitting this, I find it very interesting.
Okay, let me say what I do like about it.
All right.
I love the lighting.
Yep.
I'm assuming it's a drone shot.
Oh, you
or
think?
a high angle shot from a mountain looking down.
Yeah.
Okay, here's what I don't like.
Yep.
That lake is dead center. And that was the first thing I see is I'm just staring at that lake. It took me a
know,
while.
but it's one of these artistic shots that's like, they know the rules, but they're breaking it on purpose.
How can you do that though? That's funny. I mean, okay, I understand. Like we go back and forth at these arguments, guys. Like it's always, this one's artistic, that one's not. I'm looking at this image more and more, and I love the light painting. I mean, or the dodging and burning. There's no light painting, obviously. With
You
torch.
don't think that's natural? It's like, you don't think it's like opened up a place in the clouds and the sun hit right there?
No doubt there is some lighting going on, but I can see some nice dodging and burning there.
Now,
to accentuate the
what
edges.
are all of the white dots? Are those sheep?
I thought they were birds at first, but they're definitely something living.
At first I was like, man, there's like, they got stuff all over their lens or something, but I think it might be animals.
They are definitely animals. Again, the composition bothers me. And I like seeing more into this valley here. Just pull that, or actually the whole thing in the center where the thing is down to the lower.
I could see that. So you want to move the camera slightly to the right and maybe
yeah,
tilt it up
to the right.
bit.
Yeah,
Okay.
I feel like compositionally.
I'd like to see that too.
Yeah.
The community gives this 2.68 stars, so they are more on your team than me. I've recently seen this shot.
Oh, Hamno, yeah, we see it a lot. Let me see.
3, 2, 1. 4 stars, we agree.
You know why?
Why?
Because it's a nice version of that shot, and to take that shot, you're essentially standing in the normal location that everybody else stands. Here's why I like it. I like the water in the foreground. Everything looks really sharp. The color's nice, and you caught a really nice Aurora show. We see a lot of images of this location, but I like how it's vertical, and I love how the photographer included foreground and the Aurora. Sometimes people go a little crazy and point it up to the sky a little bit too much. So I feel like it's a really solid image at a vertical format.
Community gives it 3.78, also one of the highest rated images.
Yeah, it's nice.
And this is number 20. This is the final shot.
Is that the road to Milford Sound? It's like telephoto, I believe that's where that is.
I'm impressed you can recognize that.
I've been there a lot of times. I think it looks familiar.
All right, ready?
Yep.
3, 2, 1. 2 stars, we agree.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. I feel like it's okay. There's something interesting to it. That hard yellow line on the bottom and then the soft, different blues in the top. It's interesting. It's got me interested, but
it looks about like my sky looks right now, actually. I should go ahead and shoot. So if this is that area at the beginning of the drive to Milford Sound, I understand why the photographer was attracted to that in telephoto, because you really do see these mountains go so far diagonally into the distance that you get this really beautiful atmospheric perspective, and it is something really special. But this one, it feels like the light's too harsh. Would have been better a little earlier, a little bit later.
And the community gave it 2.18 stars. They agree with us on that one. Guys, thank you very much. I am freezing and my ass is being jabbed by so many little bits of lava, you have no idea. So guys, I am gonna get out of here.
Guys, don't listen to him. He is the biggest wimp ever. This is uncomfortable, but it's not the worst.
Yeah, you're on the comfortable, nice piece of lava.
To be fair, I set up here comfortably to take this shot.
Exactly.
And you said, let's film this whole thing, and you're gonna sit next to me, so you can't complain about being comfortable. And I am actually really shooting now. I don't know if this shot's actually gonna make the tutorial, guys, but right now we are filming Photographing the World 4. We are in South America. We came from Patagonia, now we're in south, the part of central Chile. We're actually about to wrap up this leg, and we should have this finished later this year. So if you guys are curious what I'm shooting, and you actually want to know if this actually worked out, check out Photographing the World 4 when it comes out, and the behind the scenes of Lee complaining about how much his butt hurts from the volcanic rock.
Guys, if you want to be part of the next critique, you can sign up for that right now, and we're going to do a theme rather than a genre of photography. So the theme is motion. So it can be any genre of photography as long as it incorporates motion in some way. So you can go check that out right now, upload your pictures with motion, and I'm not sure who is going to be critiquing that with me, but I guarantee I will not be freezing outside sitting on lava. Head over to fstoppers.com/store to check out Photographing the World and all of our other tutorials, and yeah, I'm done here. Let's get out of here.
Yeah, it's that puma's around somewhere. I'm a little worried about it.